take a load off and grab a seat. Pull up a chair, prop up your feet, that's fine by me. Fine by me. Yeah, it's podcast time. All right, everybody, how in the heck are you? This is Nick Cook.
What's up?
And this is Fine by Me. Welcome to another fantastic episode. Glad for you to join us.
How y'all doing this week?
Hey, while we're talking about it, let's go ahead and, remind the people that we have a YouTube channel. You can come watch.
There is a YouTube channel.
Slide on over there.
There's at least one, if not two or three videos posted every week of some kind of nonsense. And every Thursday for sure.
Patreon as well. I do deep divers every other week, basically how we've been doing it. But it's not really on any set schedule, but it's all on Patreon, right. And it's you can listen to it while you're driving down the road because it's audio only. So yeah,
I listened to a little bit of your Blair Witch and Ergot Poison. That's pretty good stuff. I enjoyed that. It was a good, easy listening.
Yeah,
pretty chill. I enjoyed it.
We really wanted to go as far into it as you could. You kind of start hitting dead ends and a whole lot of maybe this happened or maybe
stories, lore, stories.
So it was. I think we did a good job of giving everybody a little bit broader of a view of it to add on to what we did for Halloween this past year, at least.
Something about those days, like the Blair Witch, like that time period, just seems wet and like foggy and misty. Like it seems like there was just some kind of dampness about it.
The movie?
No, just the whole time period.
That
whole time period was wet.
Yeah, the whole movie was kind of made me dizzy a little bit.
Oh, the Blair Witch movie.
That's what. Yeah, you said the Blair Witch.
Oh, what was I talking about?
I don't know.
Salem Witch Trials.
Salem Witch Trials. Yeah.
I like you just left your George Strait concert.
I think you said Blair Witch. I think you said Blair Witch when you started thinking about it. That's what got me over there.
I didn't. Nobody said Blair Witch here.
I hit that Pinchman earlier and got me staring at the LED lights.
Hit that Benadryl vape pen. He owes the Hat Man money anyway. He owed the Hat Man a little money from this weekend.
Dude, where my office sits, it sits like the very end of my house. So the rest of my house is all behind me. And that's how weird I am. Like I'll be sitting here like playing a game or editing or something. And every now and then I'll go.
I could be by yourself, dude. I'd go crazy.
Like look behind me real quick, trying to catch something. Every time I do it, I'm like, man, I am nuts.
I need people around me to keep me in check.
Yeah. Those weeks that Christy travels out of town and stuff, and like the kids are gone or something, I'm just in the house, man. And like I'm pretty good for like a day or two. And after like 2 days of talking to myself and just wandering around the house, I'm like, what the fuck was that noise, man?
Yeah.
Just
well, I'm lucky. I guess I have a job where I work from home, and every now and then a customer's really cool, and
they'll come over and hang out with you.
No, I'll just be able to be like a little social with them. Like they'll mention something, and I'll kind of just banter back and forth with them, like have like a conversation.
Yeah,
has nothing to do with work or whatever, but at least
it's talk.
Yeah,
it's adult talk. I'm pretty much either used to talking to kids or just talking to myself. So
yeah,
I found myself not being so enthusiastic when I see people out in public the last few months. Like I haven't been going up to people like I usually do. I haven't been having long conversations trying to entertain.
Probably because I'm probably rubbing off on you.
Hey man, I've just been minding my own business a lot more, I believe, here lately.
I usually there's my buddy down here, KK or Kyle Kenny. Me and him used to always like we lived together for a good bit, but we always found it funny to go to like our other friend's restaurant on Valentine's Day. And on Saturday I realized we didn't do that, and he was busy with something else, so I just went by myself to their Saturday. I had their Valentine's Day spread by myself, and it was phenomenal. It was good to get out of the house too. I hadn't really got out of the house and just talked with random ass people in a long time. So
Nick said the other day he don't run up on people. The other day he got to my house, and as soon as he got out of the car, I met him. I said, "Hey, I don't want no hugs or no kisses or no shit." He said, "Well, too fucking bad," is what he told me. And he grabbed me up anyway. I said, "Lord have mercy, lies."
Yeah. I'm talking about acquaintances.
Oh, okay. Or
People
just
that I
somebody you
would
see at
usually be
Lowe's.
like, yeah, I gotta give them the best version, and they're expecting it.
Yeah.
I'm losing that, and I'm okay with it. I'm just riding my own lane,
Could just be maturing a little bit, you
riding my
know?
own pony, if you will.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say you don't. I mean, not to get too deep here or anything, but you're in like a loving relationship now, so you
Right.
get like
Attention.
you get the like good attention from
Yeah.
Melissa,
Positive.
so that makes you probably less likely to seek that
Yeah.
attention from other people, just random people.
That's a great point,
that's
Dr.
that's what I was
Willie.
gonna say, Josh. That's a great point, Wes. And
You can tell Wes has been to a little bit of therapy.
yeah, maybe he's
That's
been
smart.
thinking about me a lot. He's like,
Maybe he went
okay,
right to it.
yeah,
He said, "You know what? I've heard this before."
yeah. I've also been, I think, doing good at like focusing my attention where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Positive.
not giving attention to the stuff that is negative in my, or not building.
Yeah.
You know, of course, I'm friendly with people, but hold back the reins. Check your
Yeah.
priority list.
Yeah.
I love how this camera like zooms in
Yeah,
on itself sometimes.
it's a good point in your life when you get to the point to where you feel like you don't have to like socially drain yourself and you still have some of yourself for yourself when you get home. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
don't have to be on you don't have to be on all the time.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I was gonna say that's like I've been saying. I haven't been up to. Well, I mean, I went to Dad's birthday thing, but I hadn't been up there as much as I was. But I was up there a lot in the fall. I think that's one of the things I enjoy about being around them is not. I don't. I mean, they're. I mean, I love seeing them laugh, like making them laugh or whatever. But also, no, I don't have to.
Right.
Even with like close friends, I feel like I should just be funny all the time and or try to be.
Or engaged, at least engaged all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just be yourself, man. Hang loose, brother. Hang loose.
Hang loose. This is a
Hang
real
loose,
hang
man.
loose episode so far.
I like it.
Nick, who the
I
hell
like
are
it.
you?
I'm good.
No, who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Post Malone.
I've got a murder mystery party coming up next weekend at the I don't know, let's call it the Crocker Ranch. And the theme is it's a Western murder. So I'm gonna be the sheriff, but I'm pulling my inspiration from a man named Medicine Will Comstock. And we've actually talked about him before. We've talked about him before on this podcast because he's the guy that challenged Wild Buffalo Bill, to a buffalo killing competition.
I think he has a sperm whale on his family crest.
Will Comstock?
Yep.
That's appropriate.
From the old country.
The Comstocks got sperm whales on their family crest.
They didn't know
from
what
the
a
old
damn
country.
sperm whale
Perfect.
was back.
Perfect.
They come down from the Nantucket Islands.
Yeah.
But that's where Wild Bill Buffalo got his name, was from that competition. He killed 64 buffalo, and Will Comstock killed like 44.
Damn.
Yeah. But Bill Comstock was actually General Custer's favorite scout when America was venturing west. And he even went as far to say in his biography that there was no Indian out there that knew the land better than Will Comstock. So he thought he was a pretty bad dude. But really, where I'm drawing my inspiration is his look. He's got a good look about him. And I've got about the hair, and I've definitely got the mustache. I've got the clothes. I mean, I look good. Let me see.
Yeah, let's take a look at you here. I'm going to describe for the people listening. Okay, so Nick is wearing a white cowboy hat. He has a Texas Ranger style Texas Star belt buckle, a gray and white checkered cotton tweed vest, and a white shirt buttoned up, and some assless chaps with no pants on underneath it. I repeat, he just has assless chaps on with no pants on underneath it for the ones listening. And that looks like about it. He don't have any spurs on. I don't see any spurs.
I used to have a set of Spurs, and they might have been up on my shelf at the Leon Street house, and they're probably in these boxes in this closet over here.
Dude, speaking of Spurs, my grandmother.
Antonio Spurs. Was she the towel lady for the Antonio Spurs?
No, my grandmother's mom, which would have been my great grandmother, my mom. I remember her very little from my childhood, but
was she the lesbian?
No, she wasn't. She was just a little crazy.
Okay.
So me and my brother were wild as hell, of course. You know, when we were little, we were wild. So we would go over there and like have to stay. Well, she had like all these collectibles and antiques and shit. She would like let us touch nothing. She would make us go on the couch and sit on our hands. Unless it was like we were eating or like doing something like or something.
How long would you have to stay over there?
Like half an afternoon. Like I would get out of school in kindergarten, like at lunch, and go over there till like my parents got off work. It was miserable. But I remember one time, like I was like in there fucking with some Spurs, like some Cowboy Spurs, and I was like, man, these are tight. And I was, rolling them like on like whatever.
Yeah.
She come in there and grabbed me up, and she was like, "You ever touch them again? I'm going to use them on you." And it's like she was like, I couldn't tell if she was messing around. I was like 6 years old, but I remember that like in my mind. And I was like, I told my dad about it, and I didn't ever go back there ever again. Then she died. So
good.
He was like, you don't have to go back over there. He goes, you just don't pay her no attention. I was like really scared, like like it obviously affected me enough. I still remember it 30 years later.
These couches that we sit on, and I smoke cigars, and we have dirty, filthy pilots on this podcast, helicopter pilots on this podcast, just the scum of the earth.
I farted in that chair at least 50 times.
These were covered in plastic for like 45 years, and now we are just mentally
I miss that chair.
Him. Yeah,
I miss that chair, man. That's a comfortable chair.
We're getting a lot of action, baby. But all this cowboy talk, I think, is going to lead us to our first advertisement of the night.
All right.
Maybe our one and only.
Hear ye. A most exciting invitation from the Wild West Tourist Department. Ladies, gents, and all brave souls seeking adventure. Are you weary of the dull humdrum of civilized life? Tired of tea parties, tight corsets, and not being shot at? Then hitch your britches and giddy on up to the Wild West, where the whiskey's strong, the tempers are short, and the odds of survival are debatable. Be greeted and shown the sights by our very own Miss Josh Pegleg Jezebel McGraw, a one-legged saloon lady of the evening, quick with a wink, quicker with a knife, and known for out-drinking prospectors twice her size. And we can't forget West Dead-Eyed Callahan, former outlaw, current storyteller, and man with just enough moral compass to keep things mostly legal. Probably. Possible side effects of visiting the Wild Wild West include, but aren't limited to, gunshot wounds, minor to inconveniently fatal, snake bites from snakes, and from Josh if you get fresh, cactus impalement syndrome, because you will fall on one, or one might end up in you, especially after a couple drinks with Jezebel McGraw. Bar fight concussions. First punch is free, second cost extra. Stagecoach robbery-induced trauma. Robberies occur hourly. It's part of the charm. Possession by a vengeful prospector spirit. Old man Grubby likes to monologue a lot. The Wild West Tourist Department is not responsible for injury, haunting, spontaneous mustache growth, or being hexed by Miss Josh. Visit at your own peril. Visit the Wild Wild West.
I would be the person to put a hex on you if there was anybody in this outfit that's doing hexes.
Yeah, I know you'd try anything. I mean, even if that was your last resort, you'd be like, I'm going to curse this son of a bitch.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm haunting.
I put a curse on you.
100%.
I got a couple
100%.
things on that. I actually talked to the guy I mentioned, Guntown Mountain, months ago or whatever. So I actually talked to the photographer guy. I thought he was doing some documentary thing. I don't know. I spun this whole tale in my head. He was just helping him up there. He said I may have taken some pictures, but that wasn't the whole reason I was up there. And I was like, okay, well, I spun that tale in my head apparently.
Yeah.
But
let's redact that and clear that up.
Yeah, but either way, he's trying to like get a hold of the guy. because he's out of jail and everything now. Apparently doing a
I
lot.
didn't know what happened. I didn't know nothing about no jail.
It was like
Yeah,
was it taxes or something?
no, he went like nuts and threw paint all over his own property and
Way
like
cooler
he
than
was
taxes.
hammered drunk
Hell,
apparently.
Yeah,
And whenever he
way
went
cooler
to
than taxes.
leave to go down the mountain, he like slammed his car into a tree. So like I think they got him on probably a DUI or something,
But
maybe.
that's his mountain, right?
it's
Yeah.
my mountain.
He's the king of the damn mountain. He can do whatever he
It's
I don't
wants.
know.
my mountain.
I don't know exactly what his charges were. You can probably find it
Yeah.
out there, but either
Let
way,
us know
that
in the comments, guys.
He gonna let us come. He gonna let us come videotape.
He'll
so
let
I
you
don't think he
come.
owns I'm pretty certain he doesn't own that mountain anymore, but I just wanted to come on and talk about he's the guy who invented the Lebowski Fest, the big
Pretty sick.
Lebowski festival that's every year in
The Dude
Louisville.
Fest.
Yeah,
I didn't
Dude
know nothing
Fest.
about it.
Yeah, so he's been running that for decades now, probably 20 years or something crazy. Um, and I think that's every year in Louisville. So he's that guy, but then he's also the dude that tried to revamp Guntown Mountain into Funtown Mountain. But I'm trying to get him, the dude that I know is trying to talk him in to coming on and talking about all of that.
Hmm.
So I'm hoping we get that fella. Andrew, he'll
Damn,
take.
he gonna share his story, give his testimony here on the Fine by Me podcast.
I'm hoping so. Yeah, I haven't. It's been a week or so since I've touched base with my buddy Andrew that knows him really well to see if he's willing to do that or not. I know it's probably a pretty dark time in his life with all the drinking and all the things going wrong with his park that he was trying to run, so he may not want to revisit it.
Well, maybe he found some enlightenment in jail. You know, maybe
Maybe
for the best for him.
maybe Nick will dress up like a nurse and for his next character and cheer him up.
Yeah, give him a prostate exam.
Give him a sponge bath.
Dress up as Marilyn Monroe and sing him "Happy Birthday, Mr. President."
Give him a little,
Change his bedding in his bedpan.
Yeah,
dress up like a Asian masseuse and give him a little jerk and work,
Dress up like an Indian belly dancer.
a little rub and tug.
look, they
Little.
funny enough, my house. And whenever I used to have like a bunch of people over, like, people would always call me Hank Hill because I don't
Your
know.
ass is flat.
You drank
Yeah,
beer out by the
that's
fence.
probably a big portion of it. But my next door neighbors at my house in Bowling Green were Laotian, just like
Oh,
Hank Hill's next
that's
door neighbors
hilarious.
were Laotian.
You mean Con and Con Jr.?
Yeah,
I thought it's because you drink beer by your trash cans.
I mean I did that too for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Chaz would literally I didn't even have a front porch. We would sit on the steps of my front porch and just have a case of beer out there with us and just drink.
I thought it's because you used to huff propane.
I don't think I've ever done that, not on purpose at least.
Talk about a buzz.
Yeah, you wouldn't forget it, but you might forget everything.
You might.
Yeah,
And you
might
had
forget
this
your
whole
breathing.
Western theme park thing. Did y'all ever watch Westworld?
Yeah, dude. You know that it's not on Max, or I can't find it anywhere. Like they took it off of everything.
Really?
Yeah,
I
we've
was
been
thinking
looking
about
like
it the other day because I
we
wanted
went to Half Price Books and like looked to see if they have copies of it, and we can't find it anywhere.
huh. Because I watched it whenever it first came out,
Yeah,
and I vaguely remember it, so it'd be a good time for me to rewatch it.
it's a remake of like a 60s or 70s Western movie with
Yeah,
Josh Brolin's dad.
I think I remember that.
Yep.
Westworld
Josh
Strange.
Brolin's one of his kids is doing something now, ain't he?
Yeah, well, both of them are actors, but his daughter's in Yellowstone. She was also in that movie.
Yeah.
She was also in that movie Arkansas that we like.
Yeah.
She was the nurse or whatever, the kid with glasses woman.
Yeah. She yeah, so that's 3 generations of actors in, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
wild.
Yep. His stepmom's Barbara Streisand, Josh Brolin.
Man, I heard the rest of the story by Paul Harvey. For some reason, Facebook's been sending me those. Lucille Ball was like locked in a closet
Yeah.
for days at a time when she was a kid.
Yeah, man. Well, that's like Judy Garland, that girl that was in Wizard of Oz. I mean, they
Wizard
pretty
of
much
Oz.
broke her, man. Like made her work crazy, like hours were like pretty much abused her the whole
Well, that
film of that
they
movie.
like fed her amphetamines and stuff
Yeah,
to A, keep her working, but B, to keep like the make sure she didn't gain weight.
right. Yeah, like they like
Like at
worked the
the
shit out of her.
like when
Yeah.
she died pretty young too, I think.
Yeah, she's Liza Minnelli's mom.
But she had like jacked up teeth, like looked like a meth head, pretty
Yeah,
much.
pretty lady.
Supposedly the Munchkins like sexually abused her.
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Like the Munchkins were uncontrollable on that movie set because there were so many of them.
Talk about a fucking nightmare, dude. God, dude. Holy shit.
For
They had to pay me hazard pay.
that need some catching up, Josh is definitely afraid of midgets.
Dude, I just started sweating when you started talking about they couldn't keep him under control. I
Yeah.
was like, holy shit.
Like
Can
the
you imagine?
lollipop kids were running their hands up her dress.
God
Yeah.
bless, man. That's
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah. Poor lady.
Yeah, she died. Judy Garland died at 47
Gosh.
of barbiturate
Yeah.
poisoning.
Hmm.
What's a barbiturate though?
Like
I don't know.
Demerol.
Like mercury.
No, it's like a
Barbitol?
tranquilizer.
Barbiturate.
It's like a tranquilizer.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Depressant drug helps sleep, anxiety.
Ketamine. Isn't ketamine a barbiturate?
It doesn't list it. The ones that they list are things we haven't heard of: Fiorina, Pentothal, Seconal,
Is that
Nembutal.
the
Propanol.
What?
is that the shaving cream?
Yeah, Barbasol. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Damn, she died of a shaving cream overdose.
Same thing Michael Jackson died of
Shaving
barbiturate
cream.
overdose.
Yep.
Now he had to shave for a long time. After they put that shit on his face, he never had to shave again. Chrissy tried to tell me the other day, like, am I like crazy for like thinking like he bleached his skin? She tried to tell me he has some kind of disease, like vitiligo or some shit. And that's what made him look like that. And I was like, man, I don't know.
The people that
mean,
have that disease, it never goes full.
Right.
Like the 100% skin coverage. Like it like gets up to like 75, maybe 80%. But like the pigmentation around their eyes are still
Yeah,
dark.
their mouth, the creases.
Yeah.
Like I've seen that, like the commercials. Lord knows
Yeah.
I've seen it on a commercial on TV.
Well, I mean,
While I'm trying to eat breakfast.
have you
See
seen
somebody with
Beyonce?
vitiligo.
Beyonce early 2000s versus Beyonce now?
Is that
Yeah.
from vitiligo?
What?
Is that from
They
vitiligo?
lost all their melanin.
No, I don't think it. No, it's never been said. You just
It's
look
from
at
that baby oil at Diddy's parties.
you can just look at the pictures of her from early 2000s, and I
Didn't she
mean,
dye her hair blonde too at one point?
She's
Like,
blonde
looked-
now.
Looked real white.
yeah. I mean, it's the picture I've seen is a stark difference. Like she's black, and like I think it's like '06 or whatever where they're grabbing this picture from, and then
Mm.
they've got one from like 2023 next to
Back when the club was jumping.
it. Jumping.
That
Hey,
song's a
I'm-
fucking hitter, dude.
This is gonna be controversial, but as much as the music and entertainment industry hates on white people, they need that white people money.
Mm.
I think it's the Jewish people money.
They white.
They don't claim the rest of us whites though. We're goy.
That's
Yeah.
fine. I'll go in my house straight to the Indian casino and bet all of my American money on it.
All your Buffalo Bills.
On my Buffalo Bills.
Man. Zingers. I've been really deep diving into Franco-Prussian War, guys.
I have no idea who that is, Josh. Why don't you tell us about it?
It was 1870s when it started, and it's when Germany became the German state in
Just dive on in.
1871.
Germanic.
The Austria and Prussian Empire was like one of the biggest empires, and of course, Germany wasn't even a place yet. I'm not going to go through all of it, but Germany wasn't even a place yet.
Okay.
So they got into another big empire at the time, France. France was built up by Napoleon Bonaparte. Everybody knows that story. This is after he's done died and all that stuff. And they finally got their independence, and they started Germany in 1871 and pretty much just started dominating Europe, Western Europe. Like they built their military up, and it led to the World War One, and the powder keg of Europe then in 1914 exploded in World War One. So they had that, like, I think they had two leaders throughout that time, and the Third Reich we know what happened when Hitler came. I just been deep diving on like the German state, I guess, more or less than anything else. But the Franco-Prussian War is interesting because there were 5 pretty much five big empires at this time, and that would be like of course, the Russian Empire, Nicholas, the Tsar Nicholas in Russia, and then there was Austrian Prussian Empire. Then you had the France Empire. Then you had, of course, Great Britain, and there was one more, but I can't. I don't want to get wrong and say the wrong one. But that was pretty much that's all there was. They dominated the rest of the world, and they had like treaties with each other if they like overstepped like boundaries with each other, like what they would do because obviously Great Britain had colonies all over the world at this point. They were, trading with India, had the East India Trading Company and all that stuff. So whenever everybody started kind of going to war with each other, the public didn't think that it could happen because they thought that they had reached a point of like civilization
Yeah.
because like there weren't like these barbaric ways of like over fighting over property or there was like laws, just enough laws in place where people felt safe and not having to fight for every piece of bread they got or whatever. But really the whole time all these politicians and shit were working behind closed doors trying to see which land they could grab up and which waterways they could grab up, and that's what started Franz Ferdinand getting assassinated and the start of World War One. It took
Yeah.
50 years to pretty much lead up to that conflict, 40 years to lead up to that, conflict.
Where was Prussia?
Germany and
Okay.
Austria, Germany, that area.
Okay.
Belgium was still neutral even in 1870. So,
Ain't
I
never
like
done
that.
nothing.
huh?
Ain't never done nothing.
No, no,
Existed.
no.
What do you think?
Just been a railway from France to Germany, pretty much.
Yeah.
Sure is pretty over there, I'll tell you that.
I've never been.
Went to Munich.
That's
And
southern Germany. That's close to Austria. See, so
yeah,
you're right in the heart of Prussia.
there's about 3 bicycles for every car in the city.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I saw another thing too, and in the last, uh, I think, what is it, 2025 years before AD, so BC, half of the people on Earth lived then, and the other half have lived since then. I thought that was pretty wild. Like to think about just in 2025 years of recorded history, half the people that have been on Earth have lived on Earth, and that whole time before, thousands of years or however long it could be, it was just half. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yeah,
Kind
I got what you're saying. Yeah.
of reminds me of that math problem where it's like, would you rather have $1 million or would you rather double a penny every day for 30 days? And then at the end of 30 days, it's
$1,000, a
no,
thousand
it's
bucks.
astronomical.
I don't know about 30
Uh,
days and a penny a day.
well,
One.
speaking of Germany, though, have y'all seen like all these news reports of, and even CBS was able to like ride along with like the German police where they
Hmm.
were doing raids on like people's houses that had posted uh, a quote unquote offensive meme.
No, I haven't seen that.
No,
In
Germany.
England,
Germany.
Germany.
in Germany. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen it. We've seen it happening in the UK.
Yeah. Germany, CBS followed along with Germany doing it. It was like people just hunting down people that had posted memes, and they don't show like how the raid goes down, but they come out of it and they're like, "All right, well, we've secured him and we've got his laptop and his phone, and we'll be doing like forensics on this." And like forensics to find an image of probably Pepe the Frog flipping off somebody
Yeah,
or
they're
something.
saying they're saying the government's watching, and it's Pepe the Frog.
Yeah.
Yeah, something even that simple. I mean, we're getting close to communist China.
Well, I mean, that's
Yeah.
stuff like that is what the Nazis did too, as far as censoring and whatnot. So, like, seems like Germany's falling back into their old ways a little bit.
Hmm. Guess we'll see. Time will tell.
Yeah.
Time will tell, brother. What's this deal with this plane flipped upside down on its lid?
Yeah.
Man, it's just another one of those Boeing deals. I don't know. I mean, this is still pretty fresh, so I don't really haven't.
A lot of wind. It wasn't like wind a factor, obviously, I would assume.
I would assume. I don't know. I got
Look at the tarmac. It's like ice. It's like a solid sheet of snow.
I got this. I can show.
Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming they would just it would be pretty normal for it to be covered in
Yeah, up there
snow
this time of
like
year.
that. But I think Tetley sent us this.
Oh,
Or
I
he
haven't even watched it yet. Sorry, Tutley. T-Cat. All right, so it just hit the deck. It's on fire, and now it's rotating, sliding, big cloud of black smoke, and still can't see much. It's a big
yeah,
cloud of black smoke. Could you imagine I'd be getting ready to take off and you see that? Like, well, let me off here. I'm taking a train.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm not getting up in the air after I see that. If I'm on an airplane, I'm like, well, before we take off, I have diarrhea, so I got to get off here.
I'm not gonna make it on this.
No, I have my stomach starting to bubble watching that happen. I'm like, oh,
I don't think
like, well, it's the
anybody.
same kind of plane we're on.
I don't think anybody died in that though.
No,
No
it didn't. They
fatalities. Yeah,
they're
18 people injured, which it flipped. So
yeah, they're hanging upside down and shit.
yeah,
That's why I tell
yeah.
you to buckle up, damn it.
I mean, it's just crazy, dude. Like, I mean, it's how many of these have we had in the past 6 months or
We've
whatever?
had more plane accidents in the last month than I can remember my whole life ever happening.
Yeah,
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 I
it's
mean,
been
yeah.
nuts.
And the way
Malaysian
most of
flight, whatever, it's done went through the some black hole. So I don't
Yeah,
know where it's at. It
yeah.
might come out in 7 years, like that show Manifest, and be like, "Oh, what happened? They're back."
damn,
I've
Who
tried to sort
knows?
that a few times and just never can get past like
it's
episode
just a
10.
little bit corny,
Yeah,
just a
we
little.
after about 10 episodes, it gets kind of weird.
Yeah,
That main male actor, he was also in Once Upon a Time, which was like a bunch of the childhood Cinderella, Snow
Mhm.
White. I think he was Prince Charming or something. Like,
Every woman our age definitely watched that show.
yeah, it
I
was like
watched it with my ex-wife.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that fairy tale dimension meets our dimension.
Hmm.
And it was a lot of the same of Manifest, just a little bit corny.
Yeah,
yeah,
like
And
Outlander.
the CGI is just a little bit shit.
yeah.
Yeah. Not even a good story.
I was gonna say I don't know. I mean, it was 2017 when we split. We probably stopped watching that a couple years prior to that. And I know
Yeah.
that there were more and more seasons that came after I stopped watching. But I mean, I was probably 5 or 6 seasons in, and it got to like 4 or 5, and I was like, all right, this was been pretty ridiculous this whole time, but it's starting to really go off the rails now.
The babes love that show.
The
Yeah.
babes love that corny stuff.
They love it. They
Well,
love
it's
a
like
Prince
a
Charming.
CW show or whatever, right?
Yeah,
CW.
they no, it was ABC. It
Oh,
was prime
really?
time.
Out the WFB.
Yeah, that was CW. That frog,
Oh,
man. I
Josh,
miss the frog. We used to watch
this
Wayans
is
Brothers all the time.
this is what you get when you multiply a penny twice and then just keep doubling it for 30 days. It's
30 days.
30 days.
I'm gonna need somebody to check it.
$5.4 million.
I believe you. I'm not gonna check it.
You believe West, but you said
No, I believe you.
no.
I believe you.
I don't. That's not what I heard.
No, you can
Well,
you can look at you just type in how much is doubling a penny for 30 days, $5,368,709.12. Yeah.
I
Like
still would
that's
have took the
ever gonna
million.
happen. Could you imagine some Nigerian prince sending you an email saying, "Hey, you send me 10 grand, I'll double a penny every day and put it in your savings account."
I'm taking the million because on my luck, I wouldn't live to 30 days. I just take the million and go to Vegas, go in and have a good old time. Might triple it.
Yeah,
Might
go to
lose it
Vegas.
all.
Yeah,
Go to
I'd
Vegas,
say
put a
if
million on
you could.
black.
I didn't have $1 million yesterday. I might have $1 million tomorrow. Who
Yeah, I'd
cares?
say if you went to Vegas with $1 million, you have a really good chance of dying.
Yeah, of not coming back.
Yeah, because you're
Yeah.
going to try to drink like you used to,
Yep.
and your stomach's going to fall out of your ass, and you're
My
going to bleed
liver's gonna
to death.
explode.
You're going to bleed to death in a penthouse suite.
Christy counting that money. Like, well, he had
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. You're surrounded by Latino.
It'd be like Leslie Chow's penthouse and Hangover too when they get there, and it's just flashing lights at the top of the building.
Here's it broke down if you want to see it.
Uh-oh.
Day one a penny. By day 10, you're at $5.12.
Then it starts to kick up.
Yeah, day 20, you're at 5 grand. Day 30, 5 million.
Mm. Compounding can help you
Make money.
make monies,
Yeah, investments and stuff.
investments. You got to have it first to invest it.
Yeah. Well, I got a penny somewhere around here.
Oh, yeah, you definitely got a penny. We're going to quit making pennies. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
It's online, you'll find the clues.
I guess this is going to be a running bit now.
Yeah, Internet West, Interweb West, whatever.
Interweb West.
I want a soundboard so bad. You have no idea. I tried to download a free one the other day.
Well, maybe you can do a job for somebody that's got that instead of a wetsuit and get you a soundboard.
The water. I yearn for the water, Josh. You know,
Yearn for the water. You and Will Comstock
yeah, scouting out
on the Red River.
rapids.
Hell yeah. I just like fucking with you about that
Speaking of
wetsuit. It
dangerous
still makes me
rapids.
laugh. Sometimes I'll just be like, this dude's got a whole ass wetsuit.
Speaking of dangerous rapids, we had more rain than
Yeah.
since like 2010. That big flood.
You could dress up like Scuba Steve.
I could dress up like a. Thank you, Josh. This is why we do this brainstorming session.
That's right.
Hell
man.
yeah.
I expect to see you in full Scuba Steve at least sometime or another on this thing.
What was the advice that he gave that kid?
About being clean, taking a bath, and doing
You
good
have to take a bath.
Yeah. So you'll grow up and be smart. And he's like,
me.
He's like, did some guy just show up, has some flippers and stuff? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Like,
That Twins in a new movie on Netflix.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think this is the second or third week in a row we've mentioned Big Daddy.
We've talked about that. What's that dude's? What's those boys'
Dylan
names?
and Cole Sprouse. Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about it last week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, maybe we should have them on the show.
Well,
Maybe we should, Josh.
Their people should reach out to our people and set that up.
And we know you're listening.
We know you are.
Who's
Yeah.
our people? I figure when we have a people, they've got to be Jewish, right?
Yeah, I want somebody to.
I think it's Tutley. I think it's West.
It may be Travis. Travis may be our manager.
I need Travis to just be our red band.
Well, that's kind of like
He'd
what he
love it.
does. Yeah.
He'd love it. I tell you that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. He's we got a new Nick is gonna be on I think the next episode of Real Fine by Me with us.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait. I need to
Be
watch.
looking forward to that. We got lucky with the with our chances on this next episode.
Yeah. The movie we're watching, the
It's a
first
good
time,
one.
the first time I watched it, I immediately watched it again, and then the next day I watched it a third time.
Travis is probably gonna hate me even bringing it up because like we always do. Like if you watch the episode of Real Fine by Me, we act like we haven't watched the movie yet. He like spins the wheel on the thing, and then we're like, oh, what a surprise it is that we're gonna watch this movie, and then it rolls on to us wearing the same clothes and everything every time. They're like, they know we didn't need to watch this movie right now.
Nothing wrong with a good bit.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Love a
It's
good
pretty
bit. I've
funny.
been
Well, the
living
first,
my life off of a good bit.
I'll be honest, I didn't notice like the first couple episodes. I was like, why do they even bother like doing this whole first thing? And that like, so they're recording 2 different days. This makes no sense. And then
We fooled
finally,
Wes apparently.
well, I mean, that's just how much I like pay attention to what's actually on the screen. Like I'm usually
Right.
doing like 4 things
Listening.
at once.
Yeah, you're listening.
And I remember like actually watching one week, and I was like, "Oh, they just got the same clothes on." I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah, this is like the same time. So, spoiler alert: it's just a little bit of movie magic, guys. A little bit of movie magic.
It would be fun to have like Travis set up over here with a laptop that was plugged into the to the soundboard.
Yeah, and check our levels and add little
Yeah.
zingers and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, you add something like that too, and you're able to put things on the screen. There's so many.
Yeah.
the editing's
additions.
done when you're done. You
Yeah.
just produce it. You have no going back and touching it again.
Yeah.
How much was that box that you found that one time? Didn't you find a box, some kind of
Yes.
heavy box?
Couple $100.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just have to look into it. I would like to do that for sure at some point as we're growing our podcast network.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I have buddies from my hometown that we're going to be kind of brothers with a little bit. They're called the Rock Roost Podcast,
Hmm.
and
Welcome to the family.
I'll probably go.
What do
on-
they do?
They haven't had an episode yet. They released like their intro video that they did yesterday, Um, but it's some people I went to high school with, Dustin and Derek Taylor, they're brothers. Dustin was like, so, and not to put a title on myself, but I think everybody in high school would agree. Dustin was like the long-haired guitar player, was in the band, like he was like that guy in high school, and that's as soon as I met him when I was in high school, I was like, this is who I want to fucking be. I ended up being that guy because he was like a couple years older than me or whatever. So I always looked up
Pass
to him.
down the reins to you.
Yeah, so I always looked up to him whenever I was a kid and really liked his taste in music and whatnot. And that's their podcast is all talking about metal music, rock music, etc. So I'll probably go over there and talk, to them. But I'd like to, we'll have them
Well,
on at some point
if
to.
they want to talk about Steely Dan, I'm their man.
Showing some tricks of the trade.
Yeah, yeah. Like I know I've been talking to them a little bit over the past couple weeks, trying to. They've got a really good setup over there. Like they've got Dustin and Derek are the ones talking, and they've got a red band style character called his name's
Jamie.
we call him Fat Matt.
Hell yeah.
He was in their band as well whenever they were in high school. His name Matt Holland. Um, but yeah, I mean they've got a real they've got it all dark. It kind of looks like you'd be like you'd expect a metal podcast to look.
Mm.
Like like the library is definitely what I feel like people would expect to see if they hear
Yeah,
us
a
talk.
comedy
Yeah.
podcast. Right.
But yeah, it looks really good. They got a really good little setup over there. Um, and I'm sure I will because Matt is very good at sound and whatnot as well. So I'm hoping to learn a little bit from that fella
Hell yeah.
to make
Well,
us a little bit better as well.
sounds tight to me.
They have a new episode, I guess. They said they were going to do one a week as well. I'm guessing next week is going to be their first episode, from what I
Mm.
understand. So give them a listen. The Rock Roost.
Shout out.
Let me send this to you. What I bought today. I'm gonna send it to you in a text message. You don't have to, or do you want to pull it up? I don't know.
But what is it first?
Honestly, depends on what it is, brother.
Fleshlight.
It is the retired Little League scoreboards.
Oh, I seen one of those for sale
Yeah, I
on
bought one.
Facebook. Did you? $150 or did you jew them down?
Well, it was 150 for the two of them, 100 each, and one was already gone. But I'm gonna completely strip it, repaint it. Travis and Jenna are gonna make the stickers for me. They got one of those little Cricut machines at the house. Yeah, change all the bulbs. I'm gonna refurbish it back to its original.
Back to the glory days. You gonna put an RC logo on there?
And put it in the
That'd be
library?
sick.
No, I'm hoping to resell it.
Oh,
Put some
Flip it.
genuine elbow grease into it.
Sell it to somebody. Just fix it up and list it on either Nashville or Austin, Texas marketplace, and you'll sell it to some one of them people.
Yeah.
hell yeah, that's tight.
Oh, that'd be if I sold it for like 2,500. Yeah, I'd drive somewhere wild for it. Like on Melissa's 9-day stretch that she has off, we could use that as an excuse for a road trip.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Little weekend getaway.
Yeah. But that'd be great. So if somebody had just like a 2,000 square foot man cave in their basement, yeah, that would look sick in there.
Oh
I
yeah.
probably hit a couple dingers off that scoreboard back in that day.
Yeah, I bet you did. You probably kissed a couple fat chicks underneath it.
Is that at the
Awesome.
from the school?
The
used to-
park.
Really, I've been telling everybody it's from the park, but I don't
It's
know.
it looks like it's from the park.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
I
say,
mean, it
used to-
looks like it's from 100.
I played at
City
that
Park.
park quite a bit.
It
whenever
looks
I was
like it's
playing.
it was up at the old softball field on the hill by the tennis courts.
Well, I can't wait. I'm picking it up this weekend.
Hell yeah.
Nice, dude. That's
Yeah.
gonna be sick.
It's gonna be sick, bro.
What about so I still haven't watched the whole episode, but SNL's 50th anniversary.
It's good. I enjoy
Yeah, I
it.
need to watch that. Will Ferrell, I've been seeing clips. He killed it.
Kristen Wiig stole the dude. I think Kristen Wiig may be one of the funniest chicks ever.
Yeah, and she hasn't aged, and she probably feels like she's been on that show for 15 years, and she hadn't aged.
Oh, it's been 15 years since she's been on that show.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
She's
It's
been
Yeah.
around a while.
probably 2010, 11 when she was on
And
there.
she reminds me of a person that probably minds her own business too. You know,
She probably does. I don't know. She might. I
she
doubt it.
seems like
I doubt it.
she's got it all cool and collected behind the scenes. You know.
Andy Samberg did a good, of course, musical bit. He did "Dick in a Box" and then a couple other songs. "I'm on a Boat."
Yeah,
T-Pain was there.
Kristen Wiig did 7 years on SNL. Her last one was in 2012.
Oh, see, pretty close,
Yeah.
pretty close. But yeah,
Uh,
Bridesmaids is a funny ass movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I about cried laughing
Yeah,
at Bridesmaids.
but the reason I bring that up is because of all of the whatever with Tom Hanks.
oh
I
yeah,
think
Eddie Murphy.
he's a
Go ahead.
pedophile, but
He wore a MAGA hat during Black Jeopardy.
yeah, but I didn't think it was that crazy.
No, he didn't do nothing out of the ordinary. He just
That's
acted
pretty
like a
funny.
country. It was a country accent, and he acted like he didn't know much about like pop culture and shit. Played the part really well. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of people that I know that and they ain't even gotta even be MAGA fans, but they always portray it as people from our area, if you haven't
Yeah,
noticed, or from the
yeah,
South. They
yeah,
don't know what the fuck's going on with Kendrick Lamar or Nicki Minaj or a
yeah.
lot of this other like pop culture thing. So that's kind of the part he played. I didn't think it was tasteless or nothing. I thought it was all right.
Yeah, I know. That's what I made y'all wait to get on because I was like, dang it, I've been meaning to watch this. And
Yeah,
it's fresh on my mind. It just ended whenever I got on here and turned the camera on pretty much. And like the way I'd seen some Red pages spin, like that he
yeah,
didn't want to shake a black person's hand or something. I was like, I mean, he acted like he had a gun, which is a stereotype
it's hilarious.
and it's funny
It's
to make
funny.
fun of.
It's
Yeah.
funny.
Oh, let me check my wallet.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah.
Lock the car doors, honey.
yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't.
and Keenan Thompson was the one doing that. He was the host, and he was funny with him. He went right along with it. Obviously, it's whatever.
Yeah, I
Shit.
don't know.
He probably wrote it, you know?
I didn't think it was that crazy.
I thought the end bit was, if anything was controversial, was the end bit with Eddie
All
Murphy,
lives
Will
matter.
Ferrell. Huh?
What?
At the end of the show, they had like a prison, like a Scared Straight bit
Oh,
of
okay. I
like
thought you were
these
talking about
kids.
into the Jeopardy bit. Okay.
No, no. At the end of the show, though, of course, this was live on Sunday night, and they start like Eddie Murphy comes in, Will Ferrell, and I forget who else it was, maybe Tracy Morgan, and they're like inmates, and they come in to scare these kids. And Jason Sudeikis is like the cop. He's like, I got this Scared Straight program. These guys are going to talk. Well, they come in and they start talking about all this sexual shit with like getting done to them and all this stuff, and they start doing like rhymes, and it's a word that like rhymes with down or whatever. And
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy says, or you can get cum in your brown. And I was like, geez, right here on a Sunday night at 9:30, he's talking about coming in
Golly.
somebody's ass. And I was like, did he just say that? And I was like, whoa. And you could tell like everybody kind of backed up a little bit, but it was funny. It was just like odd to see that like on live on Sunday night on NBC.
Yeah.
But
Huh.
yeah, Will Ferrell had like short shorts on, like a little booty outfit. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I'll have to watch the rest of it. I've been meaning to.
3 hours is a long time.
Well, I wanted to, the Tom Hanks thing. I've already seen so many people talking about it, whatnot. I was like, I've got to see this for myself because it's surely blown out of proportion. And guess what? It
Also,
was, in my opinion.
yeah, during Black Jeopardy though too, Eddie Murphy plays Tracy Morgan, and it's funny as fuck. Like Tracy Morgan's out there too, and Eddie Murphy's playing Tracy Morgan like as one of the contestants.
I may have not even seen that then because
Yeah, it's funny.
I saw where he was standing next to two chicks.
Yeah, that may have been later. I think that was later on in the show, but yeah, he's on there together. It's I forget. There's a chick, and then Eddie Murphy and Tracy Morgan as himself, and then Eddie Murphy's playing Tracy Morgan. That's
Huh.
gonna end up at my house, Nick.
Yeah. This was gifted to me by a friend, my man Corey, the other day. I can't believe I haven't shown it to you or talked to you about it yet.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's even got a hole in the bottom for whatever you globe people do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you warm up some ham and slip it in there, maybe. Before.
You could, I guess,
Yeah,
or you could just find the coordinates of longitude and latitude with it.
is that what turned you on?
Yes, you're exactly right.
Is
Knowing
that what
people's
turned you
locations.
on?
Yeah. I like to find the GPS to that. DTF.
Let me look this up real quick.
Hey, breaking news. Kentucky state legislators have officially filed bills to create their state's own version of DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency.
Okay.
I wonder if it'll
They're
go
going to
through
call it COGE, Kentucky Office of
office
Government
government
Efficiency.
efficiency. Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Look at us being progressive in physical sense.
Kentucky DOGE will do a deep dive into Kentucky's budget to make cuts for the next spending bill. So there's a I don't know.
Oh,
I got this guy, the dude that I get in this is from a dude named Nick Sorter. He's a big reporter on X. He's been with a bunch of other media companies. But yeah, so apparently there are a bunch of states that are filing bills, and he just happened to do the Kentucky one there. So
I've got some more breaking news. There isn't a widely recognized or officially named fetish specifically for globes. However, if someone experienced sexual attraction toward globes or maps, it could generally fall under the category of objectophilia, a fetish for inanimate objects. If the attraction is tied to geography or cartography, it might also be considered a niche form of cartophilia, an interest in maps. Though that term isn't typically used in a sexual context, since this is an uncommon fetish, people might simply describe it as a globe fetish.
That's tight.
I think
That's what Josh has.
I think I'd fall under cartophilia. Not me,
Cartophilia.
but like I think that it should just fall under cartophilia. Otherwise, Josh should probably coin a new term for globophilia.
I got to come up with something.
Yeah.
We'll just call it globophilia because I like maps a lot too. So I don't know if I
I
can
like
lump
I
myself.
like the globes that are 3-dimensional that you can feel the mountains.
Oh yeah.
Oh
you
yeah,
feel the
those are
terrain
tight.
and
I'll
whatnot.
feel that all day. I'll feel it.
Topographical map.
There you
Yeah.
go. That's the real.
Oh, topographilia.
Roll that around in your mouth a little bit. See how that tastes.
Topographilia.
John,
You're a
we're
topographilia.
coming to a close here, and
I think so.
but I really want to talk about your background screen because I had forgot about this movie until an hour ago whenever we started. So, can you tell
This
us
is
what this movie's from and why you have it as your
I
background?
can't believe I forgot this scene from Home Alone.
this is from the third one when they left his ass at home. He had enough. This is
Yeah.
after he got done killing his whole family. So this is from the movie The Good. This is Macaulay Culkin from the movie The Good Son. It come out in 1993, so around the same time as Home Alone. He was filming this the same time he was taking out Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci. So he's it's got Elijah Wood in it as well, the dude from Lord of the Rings. He gets killed in this movie from what I can remember. I'm pretty sure it's his brother or something. Well, anyway, he is a bad kid. He's like possessed by the fucking devil. He
Is that
throws
really a
manicure.
part of the story?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like from like The Omen. I don't remember. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Okay.
But yeah, he's it's his cousin. It's his cousin. Elijah Wood's cousin. And he lures he's just a little menace, man, but he'd be killing people. And I think this is like he's like showing Elijah Wood he's like a badass. So he's like ripping cigs and shit, like showing how cool he was to try to get Elijah Wood to be cool, and he like pretty much manipulates him and all this, and this. But he lures him out on ice that he knows is like thin, and he's like
Yeah.
on a thick part, and he like falls through the ice, and he like barely like lets him up, I think, before he pretty much fucking dies.
I was gonna
Just
say,
a
I
little
remember
menace.
watching this movie and being like kind of creeped out about it whenever I was a kid, and I think I only watched it once, and I was
Yeah,
like, that's enough of this.
it's a fucking wild ass movie. It's a good movie though. I have to watch it again, but yeah, he's a sociopath. I'm looking at the plot. He said Henry was born a sociopath rather than the personification of evil. So he's not possessed or nothing. He's just a crazy fucking person.
Oh,
The movie was wild.
Yeah.
Old Stone Medicine Show has a song about cocaine, and they talk about Elijah Wood, and they're like, "That cocaine habit is mighty good. Why don't you just ask Elijah Wood? Cocaine isn't gonna run my baby." Yeah. So that was like the first time I'd ever even heard about Elijah Wood liking cocaine. I was like, well, it kind of makes sense. He's got a cocaine face.
Wait, hold on. It's an Old Stone Medicine Show?
Oh,
Show.
Oh,
Did I say
Cho.
Stone?
You're the one who said it. I don't know.
Tony Baloney, baby.
Well, this has been another fantastic episode of
Fine by me.
Like, share, subscribe, comment. Thank y'all for listening. Stay warm out there.
Watch on YouTube. Give us a comment. Give us a like. Subscribe, for God's sakes. I know more
Please,
y'all.
dude.
Our videos are getting more views than the subscriber count. So I
We've
know
been
y'all
stuck
are.
at
No, y'all are
88.
watching it. Just subscribe.
88 damn subscribers. We got 390 subscribers on Facebook and can't get nobody to like shit on YouTube. I'm sick of it.
Oh, we have this about the same amount on YouTube and Facebook. It's just that there are increasingly more and more people watching on YouTube, but they're not hitting the subscribe button.
What are y'all doing? Groceries?
Just hit the button. Hit the button.
What
Come on. Come on. What is
I
it?
will say,
Uh,
half the people that do listen to the podcast just found out that we have video last week or 2 weeks ago. So
That's true.
I
That's
mean,
true.
let's not try to ask too much of our base. We love y'all. Take care of yourself.
Bye-bye.
All right. Love you guys. Take it easy.
West Coast, Josh has one leg, mid crash jokes, their podcast stream team. Talking current events, conspiracy theories unfold. They're unfiltered, the topic control. In the depths of the night, they dive so deep, exploring the world. Secrets they sequence, the researcher fighting truth in the dark. Josh, the warrior with one that leaves a mark. Shining